What's up, everybody? Welcome to the DC Fandom Review presented by the Scene Snobs. But it's a snob, it's a fan, and it's a geek all together today. What's up, gentlemen?
Oh, I thought we were talking about Marvel. I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah, I don't think I can do this.
That will be tomorrow when we start getting like Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
Yeah, that's true.
So DC Fandome happened again this weekend, and I just wanted to kind of cover things, and who better to do it with than you guys, literally the fandom and the geeks. Mark, of course, host of the Fandom Effect, and Jason, one of 733 hosts of the Three Geeks Podcast. Yeah, you guys are so, you're not even interchangeable because like you're very popular. Everybody knows Jason. We love you. The problem is we never know when you're going to be on or like one of the other 732 are.
I'm usually on. I'm usually on the live show. We've been taking a lot of weeks off.
Well, it's getting busy. It's busy time. You've been in a lot of conventions and such lately, right?
Yeah, we were in Indiana yesterday. I love Indiana.
Nice.
Indiana Con is one of my favorite cons to go to. It's just a lot of variety, and it's about the comic books more so than the pop culture, even though they have some of that there.
Right.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I stayed home. I did not go to a convention. I decided to just sit home and watch the Fandome. Casey, Casey's going to LA tomorrow. I would have happily led you on, but I know he has been busy all weekend and he's getting ready for his trip. So I don't want him to feel left out.
That's what you tell us now, but this is where Casey messages saying that he was never sent the link, and it just becomes this whole thing.
He truly was not sent the link, but it's nothing against him. I just know he has to be up very early to go to LA tomorrow because he is going to be our representative no, I'm just kidding. He's going there for work. I don't blame him, but he's going to be doing some awesome stuff for the Scene Snobs because he's an awesome guy.
It's true.
Now, I do want to, before we get started, just in case anybody who's watching has not watched Three Geeks or the Fandom Effect, please go on. Mark, you go first. Tell us some more about your show and what's coming up.
Yeah, so I've been doing the Fan Effect for about 2 I am at the airport. We're closing in on 2 years here, and we kind of we like to do interviews and stuff, but primarily we like to bring on people and try to have them discuss why things are so important to them, whether it's like a certain show or whether it's like DC or Marvel, whatever it is, and like try to get to the root of like why people are so passionate about the things that they are. This month we're doing all like horror related stuff. We're going to be doing some ghost hunting episodes for the next few weeks, like people who are like professional ghost hunters and kind of like the independent ghost hunter, and kind of like compare the two a little bit. And then I'm getting ready for a full rebrand after the new year. We're going to do new logo, new merch, new everything.
Very cool. I like it. I'm excited to see what comes up. We were a part of the Fan Effect. We were guests last week.
Yeah.
You deemed us like I think we decided to say, no, we're screen princes.
Yeah.
You guys called us the kings of horror, and we're like,
and then slowly just like took away your credibility over a 40-minute time period.
It's very fair. I will say we are big fans of horror, so we appreciate you having us on and talking to us.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, for sure. It was a good episode.
A lot of fun with you guys.
I just listened to it this morning.
Now, Jason, I haven't seen enough horror stuff for you.
I haven't done a lot of it this month. We talked about it yesterday at the panel a little bit, but I've been in it. Like I watched the Scream trailer 497 times this week because Scream is my favorite franchise, and I'm so excited that it's coming back. Hi, Casey. I love you, Casey. You love your face.
Yes. Casey, my counterpart here at the Scene Snobs. It is Snobs Horror Fest, so we have everything and content every day that is horror significant. This is the only thing this month we have done that is not horror related. We will go back to all genres and everything else in between on November 1st, but had to cover DC, had to cover what's going on here. So, and I'm glad to have you guys on board to do it because, and you guys, now if you're deeming us the kings of horror, Mark, I'm deeming you two the paupers of comics. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are the kings of comics for sure. Like, I like to think of myself as knowledgeable about comics and comic book characters, but I definitely listen to your shows or talk to you guys whenever I need to know something in depth.
It's funny. Yesterday, Fandom was happening. Everybody was anticipating that Batman trailer. But for me, the thing that got me the most excited, and you guys can make fun of me for this, but when they announced that Titans was getting a 4th season, I screamed in the middle of the con hall. I'm like, yes, I love that show. It's fantastic.
I'm still a little behind, but I'm super pumped because I'll take full credit for this. So I cosplay Red Hood, and I do a combination of Injustice Red Hood with Rebirth Red Hood, and it's identical to the look of what Red Hood is in season 3. But I mean, no offense, DC, but I did it first.
Jason Todd's a dick.
Very true. And we're gonna go down the list of everything that they've revealed and more. But guys, feel free to chime in on everything. I want to hear what you guys think for real. Because I'm actually very excited about that. That's one thing. When I do these and I have you guys on and stuff, you're so knowledgeable. I want to see what I'm going to learn from it.
For me, it was Milestone. Milestone announcing more of their comics that got me really excited, and they tease doing an animated film through Milestone. I don't know if it's going to be Static Shock or not, but
before we get there, I have a list that we're going down.
I don't like lists.
Oh, you know what? We'll just start with Milestone, but I do have a graphic, and I worked myself on these. So we better. There we go. Okay, let's talk Milestone. Tell me about Milestone and what this entails.
So Milestone is kind of like DC's attempt at revising and kind of rejuvenating certain franchises. So the reason why I got more excited for Milestone is primarily Static Shock, is because this is the first run, and season 1 just ended of Static Shock. So they confirmed they're calling them seasons instead of mini series for Static Shock comic. And it's the first time they've tried to do anything with Static Shock since the TV show 10, 15 years ago. So it's certain characters, and they're pretty much trying to create a sect, a different sect in the DC comic universe, and then try to bring them back into the mainstream and kind of give it some new fresh blood.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And you know what? One thing I did when I was reading up on this that I really liked is that they're doing that. It seems like not enough comic companies are doing that, where they're trying to bring up the next generation of comic writers. DC desperately needs it, so I understand why they're doing it. But yeah, I am excited to see kind of what comes from this. What do you think, Jason?
I'm excited to check it out. I'm really liking what DC TV is doing in general.
Very sweet. All right. Yeah. One thing, we'll go to my very next. What do we get? The Flash is getting his yellow boots. Announced that this weekend.
After 8 years. I don't know, 9 years, eight seasons.
Yeah, finally getting those yellow boots to finally pop up. I'm touching down on this now because we're going to be talking about a Flash shoot later. I'm saving the best for last, in my opinion. But a couple of things that have kind of gone through, we can touch down on. Gotham Knights looks awesome. I know you guys like the games. Mark, what do you think? What's your take on this? You think it's gonna be good?
Yeah, I'm super ready. Yeah, I'm super pumped.
We got you. And now another video game that's popping up, the Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Now, I kind of want to see this as a movie. It sounds awesome. Even if it's an animated movie, I'm fine with it. But it sounds awesome. Some other announcements they've been making. We're getting Super Pets with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing Crypto and Kevin Hart playing Ace. Ace Hound.
Yeah.
Is that in The Rock's contract now, that if you sign the
Rock
and sign Kevin Hart as well? Are they a package deal now? Are they the new Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau?
Well, first of all, Ace is Batman's dog, right? Bat Hound?
Yeah.
If I'm correct.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I get where you're going to get a heroic figure to come in and play Crypto.
Yeah.
But Batman isn't Kevin Hart. What are you talking about? Yeah. What is this?
Yeah.
So I don't know about all that. But I'm sure the kids will love it. It is what it is. I'm not a huge fan of them always being together all the time, but whatever.
I do like Kevin Hart as a white bunny, so maybe he can play a dog too.
Oh no, I think Kevin Hart would do fine as the voice of something. I'm not worried about that. I don't have the Kevin Hart hate that everybody else does. It's just I can't see him as Batman's dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Like I'd almost reverse it in a way. Like Superman's dog, it would be funny to have like a Kevin Hart type just be Superman, and then like have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing Ace being all stoic.
Yeah.
You know, but like because Crypto is so powerful, he has to step up, but he's just like unsure of himself. I don't know. I rewrote it and I think it's great, and I think that DC needs to pick up on this. Want to wish a happy birthday to Wonder Woman. 80 has never looked so good. Got to give it to her. Yeah, I'm probably going to be canceled for commenting on that. But whatever. It'll be all right. We got some animated series, My Adventures with Superman, which is kind of fun. It looks a little, from everything I'm reading, it looks
it's at least different.
Yeah, another animated series. I'll take it. Another big Superman news. They changed his motto, and I dig it, and that is truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. What do you guys think about that?
It's fitting because Superman's more worldly now, even in the comic books. I'm down. I'm actually surprised we didn't get more controversy out of this announcement than we did. So kudos. I guess we're growing as a society.
That's the wrong kind of love, Casey.
Yeah.
I think because Superman, a couple years ago, just did his big anniversary. I mean, if you're gonna do like a slight rebrand, I mean, it's probably a good time to do it. If you're like with Milestone and everything else, like it's a good time to try to like put some new blood into old characters. Mm-hmm. Minus what they're doing with Green. They're ruining Green Lantern though. I will say that to DC.
Yeah, they're kind of. I don't think they've ever really known what to do with Green Lantern. But Superman, I don't think for a long time. I don't think they've known what to do with him.
No.
But, let's change it up. And let me strike that. I think lots of people seem to know what to do with the Superman character because I've heard some very fun stories pitched. I just don't think DC knows what to do with them. They don't want to take any chances with their golden boy material.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was a huge fan of this show, and it's celebrating 20 years, which is destroying me on the inside. But Smallville had a reunion, and this was fun to see. It was fun to see Lex and Clark sitting on the couch again, talking. Were you guys fans of the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched every episode, all 10 seasons. It
was a good show.
Huge crush on Allison Mack, which, it's a different angle now. But Michael Rosenbaum, I've been a fan of his since. Like, I love his podcast. He's a really good interviewer, and I like that him and Tom Welling are such good friends.
Can we just say it here? Can we, as a collective, a legion of sorts, or a league, we can go that route too, just make the determination now that Michael Rosenbaum is the best Lex Luthor on screen of all time.
Hands down.
Oh, yeah.
No argument.
Everything else has been just garbage.
Oh, yeah. See, I love it. I love that we can all agree on this. Another animated movie that's coming out, besides, I don't have a graphic for that one, but Injustice is coming out on October 19th. Can't wait for that.
So pumped. It's one of the best comic series I've ever read. So good.
100% agree. But we're also getting Catwoman Hunted. I'm intrigued by this. What do you guys think?
I'm really a fan of Catwoman, especially as of the last few years. I've really gotten into her character in the books and so forth.
I'm excited for it. I mean, DC rarely misses with their animated films, and especially them putting more emphasis on like Catwoman and like other characters besides everything just being like Batman related is a nice change of pace. I mean, I know obviously it's still kind of Batman related, but at least it's not only about him.
Yeah, I'm definitely in for that. She's a character that's just been around for so long and been, in my opinion, been so interesting for a long time because she hasn't been in the forefront, but I'm kind of ready for it. I'm kind of ready for her character to step up and like have a main story for herself.
Oh yeah.
She's got layers to her too. So I mean, it's definitely an interesting character. She's not necessarily bad, and she's not good. She's just somewhere riding the middle, crossing the lines. But
okay, see, I thought I was going to be canceled for Wonder Woman type big costumes. I was just saying that the age of 80, will never look so good. Now, George from the Perfect 10 and Dueling Aces podcasts, you can cancel him. That's fine.
But you can check out 9 o'clock on 3 Geeks Podcast channel.
On the 3 Geeks Podcast. On the 3 Geeks Network.
No.
So, Mark, if you are looking for another network, I know.
No, we're not a network.
But to get Dwayne Johnson out of the way again, because I know George is really excited about this, but we got a teaser of Black Adam.
Yeah.
After seeing this, I'm like, I didn't really care all the way up until this, but I was like, you know what, this could be cool. I'm kind of in for this. What do you guys think?
I don't know if this is good or bad, but the thing I'm looking forward to most is Dr. Fate, because I'm just a huge Dr. Fate fan, and so I'm really excited to see him brought to like an actual screen. So I'm not really so much looking forward to Black Adam. I mean, he's got a really interesting backstory, like if you really dive into it, and the reasons for what he does is like you start to empathize with him, like if you read like a lot of the stuff that he's doing. But I'm mainly just excited to see a lot of the other people, like finally some DC heroes that have never really gotten any screen time before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it will be fun. I think it will be fun to set up like a villain origin story, like where he's front and center. We get this villain origin center. I am excited for Dr. Fate because just a helmet on Smallville screen is not enough for me. We need this character full. I'm interested in the Justice Society of America. See what they do with that. And I'm hoping they set up a Black Adam versus Shazam. I'm versus Captain Marvel, of course, but in the Shazam world. So,
right.
Hopefully we'll see that. One that I'm not that excited about, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Look at that suit. Look at that slimming black suit.
It's crazy. I am one of the few people I know that did not like the first Aquaman, so I am not like excited at all for Aquaman. I'll see it. But
I thought the first one was average. Like I thought it was like, if it's on and there's nothing else to watch, like I'll watch it. Like that's kind of my viewpoint on it. It's just gonna be weird because I feel like so much got ruined from the first movie just with like Amber Heard and all that stuff, and like it's like it took so much out of the movie that like I'm just like I guess I'll see it, but like unless you blow me out of the water, I don't know.
I was just shocked when I heard about Aquaman because it came out the same year as Venom, right? Because I thought Venom was okay, and I thought Aquaman was of the same quality of Venom, but I preferred Venom over Aquaman. I was just really shocked that so many people were praising Aquaman when I thought it was about the same kind of quality as Venom.
Yeah, Aquaman did not do anything for me. You know what it is? I liked everything underwater. And then when they got into that weird, like, we're going to go on this Indiana Jones type safari hunt, I was like, I don't care about this.
Yeah, especially because like everything else like fit around like a decent theme. Like Ocean Master is like as like a central person is a really good idea based on like all the films and the comics and stuff. They just went about it in such a weird, convoluted way. Like if they just stuck to like a very simple storyline, I feel like it would have been so much better.
You know what's weird? Taking from it the first one, and the only thing I really did enjoy story-wise was like the origin of Black Manta and where that came from. And let me put up his picture because I think this is going to be awesome. And I added it. I would love to see something like they're doing with Black Adam, but with Black Manta. You don't have to have him go up against Aquaman.
Yeah,
it would be something different. Kind of set him up for something else, make it his own movie. But
it'd be a great show to add to like CW or something like that. That'd be a really good show.
Yeah, I absolutely, and I think he's an interesting enough character. Especially, he was probably the most interesting part of that movie, in my opinion. So I would love to see what they do. But some obscure stuff that's getting thrown out right now that I'm actually kind of interested in, is, of course, is the Sandman. Not everybody knows the Sandman. I think Harden fans do, but I do like that it's a Netflix show. They're going to follow Sandman, but we're getting the actual Lucifer. It's not going to be Tom Ellis coming in, which is so I guess kind of detaches this from the actual DC world. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know a ton about Sandman myself. When they first announced it, I think last year when they kind of teased it, I kind of did some research on like what it was and like everything. So I'm excited because I feel everything's been so kind of structured with like Marvel stuff being on this place and DC stuff being whether it's DC Fandom or like, HBO Max or, whatever it is. Like this is the first time we're kind of getting like I guess you would call it a major streaming service taking a stab at something obscure, like not like, was it not Cloak and Dagger? I think was that maybe that show on Hulu. I might be getting the name wrong, but Runaways is what I was trying to think of. So to me, I'm excited just from the standpoint of it's DC taking a chance on something, kind of like how Marvel took a chance with like Guardians of the Galaxy and 10 Rings and like people that, unless you're a hardcore fan of the comics, you're not going to know anything about them. I feel like this is DC's attempt to kind of like, hey, here's an obscure thing that we actually have.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this. One of the things I like about comic book movies is the stuff that I don't know anything about comic book wise. And this is one of those. So when I go into it, I'll have no expectations. And I really like the casting of Gwendolyn Christie.
Okay, very cool. I dig it, and I want to see where it goes. I did read some of the trades when they came out, but so I dig the character, and I read it more when Lucifer first came out. And I wanted to like kind of deep dive into what Lucifer did. I found it was vastly different, but I liked what that was. What the comics are. Now, another obscure one that's coming out that's going to be animated is The Monkey King is coming. Now, I'm very interested in this. There's a movie it's based on Journey to the West. The Journey to the West, I'm sorry, which is an ancient story that comes around, talks about the Monkey King. I'm very excited for that. Let's kind of see where it goes. But yeah, for me, I think this is going to be. Well, they call this one the Monkey Prince. I call it the Monkey King because I'm used to the movie Journey to the Center of the West, which if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm interested to check this out. Again, I feel like it's kind of like you said, DC kind of just throwing some different stuff on the board to try to drum up some different interest than the same kind of 10 things they've been doing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It's nice that they're getting away from just Batman and Superman.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited. That's why I'm glad they're doing like a mini series on Blue Beetle and Booster Gold right now, and I was so pumped when I saw that.
And we are getting a Blue Beetle movie as well. They announced.
Yeah, if Booster Gold's not in, I'm gonna be really pissed though.
I can see them just sticking to Blue Beetle for now, and then Booster Gold maybe comes in at the end, and it's like sets up a sequel. I'd be okay with that, just to kind of put some focus on Blue Beetle. I would like to see. Well, they're doing a Batgirl movie too, which I think is HBO Max exclusive, which I'm excited for, and it's going to be Barbara Gordon, which I like. I would really like to see them like kind of put some stuff together for. I would like to see them do something for with Titans to go to the Outsiders. I really want an Outsiders like movie or TV show. Nothing was mentioned to anybody, so I'm not putting it out there. But I kind of feel like with everything I'm seeing with Titans, it's getting to that point.
Yeah, they're going that way. They seem to not be afraid to try things on Titans.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a lot more on the comic side too. Like they're doing all these new stuff with like rebranded Titans, Teen Titans Academy. Like they're pushing a lot of Titans and Teen Titans stuff lately.
I don't think they realize though. I think it's like untouched properties. Like go ahead and do whatever you're going to do because nobody cares. It's only like whoever liked the cartoons,
right?
Which to me is like you guys are missing your mark on this one. I think this is if you really put some love into it, you could really make this work.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so one I'm surprisingly excited for, like Suicide Squad movie, the new one. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I've watched it twice, so that tells me I know I enjoyed it. But Peacemaker getting his own show, of course I had to use that one. Are you guys excited for a Peacemaker TV show?
Oh yeah, man. John Cena.
Yeah.
I'm starting to really like John Cena as just a John Cena. Like Fast 9, he was my favorite part of that movie. And I agree with you with the Suicide Squad movie. While I liked it better than the first one, I thought it was just okay.
It's definitely better than the first.
I can't wait to see what they do with his character.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I've liked him for a while because I'm a huge wrestling guy, so I'm kind of followed a lot of his stuff for a while. But I'm just excited for it because it looks like I don't know, it just looks like a good show. Like they put in some good characters with it. I think Vigilante is a pretty good character in DC and stuff, and so I'm excited for it. It looks pretty good, and again, I don't know if it's DC making a stab at just kind of creating new content that's not just on CW, which is a nice change of pace. So I don't have to watch 9 different superhero shows Monday through Sunday.
One thing I do enjoy about this, especially with John Cena, is like I think we need to give him his due. The Rock has tried his hand at comedy, and he's been funny. Don't get me wrong. I think he needs to be specifically written for and surrounded around like a Kevin Hart for it to be funny. John Cena on his own, though, handles his business when it comes to funny.
Dude's funny.
Yeah, and he understands the concept, and I got to give that to him.
I think a lot of it is how they did promos when they wrestled. The Rock's promos were always very serious, like calling people kind of a name, and like that was about it. But Cena did like a rapper gimmick, and like it was all centered around making fun of someone. Yeah. And I feel like that has now helped him in the acting careers because he's just used to being able to do that kind of stuff.
Is it weird? And to kind of go off of DC for a second, but like, is it weird to see like if you look at them and you're like, okay, The Rock, yeah, he's stoic, he's going to be the hero type. And I almost feel like that's who he is. Like he doesn't want to be. He can't really make fun of himself too much unless it's like very late.
Yeah.
And then you have Batista, who I feel like probably could make fun of himself, but is getting all of these dramatic roles in movies. And I'm out of all of them, I'm like, he's probably the one that's going to win some awards someday. For his acting, because like he is working with directors, and I have to admit, every movie he does, he gets better and better.
Yeah. I give Batista a lot of credit. I don't know if you've heard the story about when he went into like read for, I don't know if it was Suicide Squad or something, but he went to the studio and tried to pitch Gears of War.
I've heard that.
And so he'd used their meeting that they anticipated him reading for a movie, and he used it to try to pitch why they should make a Gears of War movie. And I was like, all the respect, man, like completely just pissing on a movie role to be like, guys, no, make this video game movie.
Yeah. And and it hasn't stopped him. He's doing stuff, and he's moving up the ladder, and he still does Marvel, and I'm sure he'll end up in DC at some point. But he's still in Ridley Scott movies, and things like that. So good on him. But with John Cena, I feel like John Cena is already big enough. He's already looks stoic enough where he could play a serious role, or he knows he could play an action role. We bought in on that. But now he's just all in, like, I can make fun of myself better than anybody else coming out. And I think that's where he really shines. Like, he can do comedy because he can have an eagle hug him and make you laugh.
Yeah.
I gotta give him, like, it's very cool to see a wrestler come out and become an actor, because that isn't always the case. Look at, you watch Hulk Hogan when he's in Santa with Muscles, or he's in Suburban Commando, and it's like, he can't be made fun of, though. He's the guy who's like the straight guy in it. You don't make fun of him, but like John Cena is all about it.
Right.
Coming up on a couple of the last things real quick. Batwoman, of course, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, they're all celebrating coming out. Some pretty big stuff. We are getting a new animated series for Batman. It's called Cape Crusader. It's coming from Bruce Timm. J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves are all involved in this. It's going to be more in the mythology of like and look of like the 1940s Batman detective. Young Justice Phantoms just dropped.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that. Okay, it's a side quick story, but I always I had met the one of the leads and co-producers of the Young Justice, like when it was canceled, like years and years ago at a convention, and I bought this T-shirt called, it was this hashtag keep binging YJ, like keep binging Young Justice. They were trying to sell enough T-shirts to justify to Warner Brothers that Warner Brothers should institute the show. And so when they did get announced the show's coming back, and especially with the new that just dropped, like I'll always wear the shirt just because I'm like, I was like, yeah, my $20 is the reason why this happened.
I love it. And it's true. Like the fans really got that brought back, and I'm glad they did because it was such a great show, and I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I do want to touch down on the big things that happened this weekend. I think the most exciting in a lot of ways, the Batman got a new trailer.
Yeah.
When it started, I have nothing against Robert Pattinson. I like Robert Pattinson. The only thing I don't like him in was the Twilight series, and he doesn't even like himself in that. So, but everything else he's ever been in, great actor. I enjoyed him. So when I say like I wasn't too excited for it, is like I think I was just suffering Batman fatigue in the movies.
Yeah.
It was just too much. But now, everything I've seen so far,
yeah,
I'm excited. What do you guys think?
I'm pumped. I think one thing that people have to remember about the movie though is that it's essentially like year 2 of when he's Batman, because a lot of times people always look at it as like, okay, is he going to be a good Batman or a bad Bruce Wayne, or like what's going to be the comparison to be? And I do the same thing, but I think with this movie, like even we can't do that this time because they're finally taking a crack at early Batman, and there's no defined character this early on in his, Caped Crusader time. So I'm, again, same thing with Robert Pattinson. Like I didn't really know him from much besides Twilight. So when they first announced it, I was like, okay, maybe they see something I don't, and I'm starting to see it, and I'm pumped. Nice.
And one thing that they have been talking about and mentioning is this is not the Batman origin story. Like you said, it's year 2. He's in. It's going to be based on the Long Halloween and almost like an amalgamation of Batman Year 1, and but he's going to be further into his career, more established in Gotham. And it's going to be more of a detective tale. But what I liked, Robert Pattinson said, this is more Bruce Wayne's origin. He's going to learn who Bruce Wayne is in this. Like the party billionaire, party boy billionaire. Like I like that. We have not really seen an origin of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So I'm down for that to see where this goes.
I'm in. Oh.
Yeah.
I said, I'm in. I thought Selena Kyle looked awesome in this trailer, and Colin Farrell as a Penguin. He looks like he's having a blast making this movie. I'm curious, and I like Robert Pattinson in Twilight. I can't say I was a fan of like Mick. Robert Pattinson doesn't even like it, but I've seen him in other stuff since, and I'm just excited that the world gets to see that this guy is actually a good actor. Like he's been an indie darling for a while, but now the mass audience that hates him from the Twilight movies or whatever is going to see this guy is real talent. Like he's not just Edward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Kristen Stewart is whatever her character's name was in the Twilight series. Like that's who she is in every movie to me. Like she's never changed.
No, I don't think she's that good of an actress either. Like I've seen her in a lot of things since then, and I just.
Yeah. And so for me, like, yeah, when he gets this much hate and it's almost compared, like even Taylor Lautner, like let's not just pick on Kristen Stewart, like Taylor Lautner, he's the same guy in every movie.
Yeah.
Like I beg you all to watch The Lighthouse and tell me that is Edward from Twilight. Like this dude knows how to act. And he's brilliant at it. And for him to take on Batman, there had to have been something there for him to take on Batman, because he doesn't, like you said, he's an indie darling. He doesn't really take the money roles. He's like, I just want to do roles that I'm interested in doing. So that's what is even more exciting for me about this is like, he's just like, what does he want to do here? And the fact that he's the one saying this is like Bruce Wayne's origin story. Like, so is he more interested in showing us Bruce Wayne? Kind of cool with that.
Yeah.
And the Batman just does look awesome.
It does.
And I'll give you the Batmobile looks awesome too. It's not my favorite Batmobile, which we are coming up to next.
But his Bat voice is awesome too. Like
it is good. Yeah.
It's not because it's not Clint Eastwood.
I mean, yeah, and we get to see like the Riddler back, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yes, and finally a Riddler. Like I think that's worthy of.
Yeah, like a gritty, real like character versus like the comedy role, like an actual like no, the Riddler is a really messed up dude. Like,
and I'll give it to Batman Forever. He was messed up in that too. There was a lot of problems with him, but it was cartoonish because that's what they wanted at the time to sell toys. At least in this one, we are getting a demented Riddler who is who's just almost an anarchist like the Joker was in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So I am definitely excited for this. But to go on with Batman, we must go to the Flash. And I'm going to start off by saying I love the suit improvements in this teaser trailer for the Flash movie. I am not a huge Ezra Miller fan in general.
No.
But he wasn't bad in the Justice League movie. He was
average.
Yeah, I mean, he's no Grant Gustin, but if you're going to have him, I can't really defend it. But anyway, the suit looks cool. I'm fine with it. Like, whatever, let him play it because I know what I'm getting with the Flash. It looks like we are getting Flashpoint, which we kind of knew was always rumored and talked about. But I think this teaser trailer really solidified that. Correct?
What's fascinating about the trailer is how much it leans into Keaton. Like, Keaton is the voiceover. Like, they tease the Keaton Batman. They tease the Keaton Batmobile. Like, I was just really surprised that Keaton was the focus of the first Flash trailer.
I feel like maybe they're trying to just to bank on nostalgia, star power a little bit to try to get some of the stink off of the Justice League a little bit and try to bring some people back.
I think a lot of what we saw this weekend is to get the stink off the Justice League, which again, I didn't hate the Snyder cut. I liked it.
It was definitely a ton better than Whedon's, but there was definitely obviously like still a lot of issues with the movie itself. But
I will say that like it looks like again like with the Flashpoint, we're getting two Flashes played by Ezra Miller, and of course Supergirl is going to be in there. So it's going to be different. It's going to be multiverse. Going to be exciting. But of course, we all know, and like you said, playing on the nostalgia, we are getting the Batman. We're getting a real Batman. We're getting Michael Keaton in to play his 1989 role. The thing I like about this is, could you go Thomas Wayne as Batman with the Flashpoint? Yeah, you could. It would have been kind of cool to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I am way more excited for this.
Yeah.
How he plays in. And when I saw that cowl, I'm like, I'm in. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for what this means for the future because from what I've read, Keaton seems to be having a lot of fun being back on this set and doing this character again. Just come on, just give us a Batman Beyond. I don't care if it's a Batman Beyond with Batgirl. Like, I want the Batman Beyond story and I want Keaton to be that guy. So
yeah, I would kill for Keaton to do Batman Beyond because I love Batman Beyond. I love the TV show. I love the recent comic run they did a couple years ago. I love everything about it. I would 100% binge watch that 1,000 times if it got the views up enough.
George, I will say yes, it is worth a watch. Go check it out, even though you hate everything. Tim says, okay, excited for the Flash movie. Not all that excited for Ezra Miller. Still can't get used to Sheldon Cooper as Flash. I don't know how Sheldon Cooper the Flash. Once. In case you ran plot, I liked it. I didn't declare for the dream sequence at the end of Joker. Leto kills it for me. Okay. I'm just going to say this. I agree with you guys. Both Batman Beyond needs to happen, and I think that's what this is. I think this is where it's leading to. I think they just want to bring him back to show him as Batman. My prediction is by the end of the movie, he's going to realize he can't be Batman anymore. He's too old. His body's too broken down. Oh, we lost Jason. But,
like a teaser trailer showing what's his name, Tracy McGinnis or something, like some sort of like. I could see them doing a thing where he's like reading a newspaper or something, and it's like he sees Tracy McGinnis born, like from the hospital or something. Like I could see them kind of just like a quick little, okay, here it is. You guys are gonna get it.
I would even dig it if like was it Tracy or Terry? I know
I think Terry. You might be right.
Yeah, it was decent. It's first and okay. These two are having a conversation on their own, talking your own time. This is my show. No, I love you guys. I love that there's conversations going on. So please keep them up and I'll put them up. But I would love to see at the end of this, time sort of gets fixed the way it needs to be fixed, and it opens things up, kind of like what WandaVision's doing and Loki and everything. So that way they can open up things so we can get more of what we want and crossover and such.
Right. Yeah.
I would love to see. I kind of think that the Flash that messes up in this movie, which is the one in the center there. Let me pull it back up, see if Jason comes back on. But this one right here, the center there. Sorry, blocked my face. I have a feeling he might be our Flash, not the Flash from the. Get you back in there. I'm not Jason. He might be the Flash from another multiverse, and this Flash in the back might be ours from the Snyder Cut. So I'm kind of interested to see that and see what happens. That's a prediction. I'm not saying that's true. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just throwing it out there. But I would love to see by the end of this, Michael Keaton's Batman is finding he's too old. He can't keep up the Flashes. He had to fix the timeline. Once it's done, like you said, maybe he is reading a newspaper or something comes up on the computer. I don't want a baby Terry McGinnis coming in. I'd rather see him as a teenager.
Yeah.
And that's where he's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna pull this kid in, or he's like, or he has him like he stops the footage that he's watching or something and talks to, and it says something or something cool in that line. So that way we can it opens it up for a Batman Beyond movie.
Which I would. Yeah, I think he said something about his wireless card.
Sorry, man. I'm the Bob of the show today. I'm not getting back on. So okay, I think he's done. So we're wrapping up anyway. I want to talk about one last thing. I loved this. We know what it is. We know what Batmobile that is. I cannot wait to see it. It's my favorite Batmobile there is.
It's going to be good. Excited. Yeah, that was definitely such a deliberate, like, hey, guess what? Like, I feel I'll give DC a lot of credit. They're trying to make up for a lot of mistakes early on in kind of their movie career and kind of give fans like actually what people want to see.
Yeah, and I think that's the smart way to go. You've already screwed it up. Well, that and it's hard. It's hard to do that. It's hard to maneuver because you've already created all of these characters that we like. A lot we don't like either, but
right.
I mean, people did like the first Suicide Squad movie. So how do you do it? You fix it by improving it. You keep the Harley Quinn that you really like.
Right, yeah.
And change everything else. It's almost like their own multiverse way of doing things.
Yeah, I'll give them credit for they don't like wipe the slate clean. They're like, nope, all these things happened before. We're just not going to talk about it, but we'll acknowledge they exist. Like with Suicide Squad, like Captain Flag, Harley Quinn are both there. They acknowledge that the first movie was an actual thing. Mm-hmm. We're just going to not really talk about it. We're going to move on and try to like do new things.
Yeah. One connection I hope they do make, and I'm okay with it, even though they don't really look alike, is I hope that Robert Pattinson's Batman is the early version of Ben Affleck's Batman.
Okay.
I know it's not, and it would kind of make sense that he realized he had to harness not just who Batman was, but also who Bruce Wayne is. Because let's give it to Ben Affleck. He played a great Bruce Wayne.
Oh, yeah. I'll say it, like, hands down. He was an amazing Bruce Wayne. I just thought he was a terrible Batman. I
didn't think he was terrible. I just thought that he was different. And I kind of liked that after the Nolan movies. I kind of like that of like Batman Forever. And like, it's just something a little different because we had 89 Batman through 4 movies, turn into like this bright, like almost comical thing to sell toys. Then Nolan comes in and it's completely the other way, where it's completely dark. And,
we don't care about merch at all.
And we needed that. And it's kind of poetic in a way, because you think about it and you think about the Dark Knight Returns. We had this bright Batman that was just kind of, let's go do what we're going to do. And then Frank Miller stepped in and was like, yeah, no, we're going to darken this up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we found a happy medium in the comics. He went even darker for a while and then kind of came back out. So I think for me, that's what Ben Affleck's Batman was. It was like, he's still dark. And again, I'm taking Whedon's out. Whedon's Justice League is thrown away, all the murder and everything. And I'm going with the Snyder Cut version.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, I kind of dig it. I like where we're at with it. I want to see him come back. I want to see him take over. And especially now that they're changing things up, I think if Ben Affleck has more control over where it goes of his character,
right? Yeah.
Then it could be a lot better. Because remember, everybody was excited when he was announced as a director.
Yeah.
And then Matt Reeves took over, which I like Matt Reeves. Don't get me wrong. His Kingsman and everything like that are brilliant. But
it's kind of like, it's one of those things where you can be an amazing director, but it doesn't mean you know how to direct, a superhero movie. And I like I said, Kingsman are great movies, but they're not. You don't have the subtle nuances of what you need in a superhero movie, which is what people who are fans of it, who either watch the shows or read the comics or know the characters, like, people look for those weird character quirks that people are known for. And when you don't get them, you're kind of just like, well, what was the point?
No, I get that. And I agree. But I think I'm gonna keep open-minded, only because I've seen how bad it can get. I mean, we've both seen how bad it can get with the theatrical cut of Batman vs Superman and Justice League. So it's and even to an extent, the first Suicide Squad, really, there was no Harley Quinn there. It sucked.
The Joker ruined it. Just Jared Leto. I mean, again, great actor. I like him in a lot of different movies. Dude cannot pull off a Joker.
No. I agree. I didn't like him. But honestly, I thought what they did in the dream sequence at the end, I'm not saying I loved it. I'm not saying that he's a good Joker, but at least it was like different from what we saw in that other movie. And it's like, all right, maybe they're trying to push him in the right direction, but I don't even care if I really, truly don't care if we get the Joker again for a long, long time.
That's why I think in the trailer for the new Batman movie, I think it's smart. And I don't know obviously we don't know if it'll be the whole movie, but when obviously he's talking to the Joker in jail, that the Joker is going to be in jail for the whole first movie. Like, if there is a sequel, I think that's a really smart move to tease the Joker just being in the movie. Like, Batman goes to see him to try to get information. Joker doesn't help him. And then the Joker's never shown again in the first movie. I think that's a smart idea, because I think, to your point, there's been a lot of different Joker attempts since Heath Ledger, who crushed it, that if you're going to do a new Batman trilogy or, however many movies they plan on doing with it, I feel like you have to leave the Joker out and develop, like, the Riddler and Scarecrow and the Penguin, like, develop these other characters like the TV show did, and then introduce the Joker as like now he's, and like end of the second movie, he breaks out of jail, and the third movie is about the Joker. Like, really stretch it out and make people want to see the Joker versus like just shove it down people's throats.
And that's kind of what I would like to see from. I would love to see Robert Pattinson and Ben Affleck be the same Batman for many, many years apart,
Yeah.
Because if you're setting up these, the Riddler and the Penguin and Catwoman and everybody else, which you haven't seen in Ben Affleck's versions, now we get older versions of everybody.
Right.
So if they do a movie with Ben Affleck, it's like, okay, all right, who's going to play Catwoman? Who's going to play that? And what are they going to cause down the line? Like I would love to see, nightclub owner Penguin when Ben Affleck has to go to him, and he's an informant at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
there's definitely, it opens up a lot of different stuff where you can kind of take both of them down different routes. You can go Ben Affleck with like the older side of it, and then you can go Robert Pattinson's route of starting to pick Robins, and like you can start introducing like all the different Robins in his universe, whereas in Ben Affleck's, it's like you could do more of like the under the Red Hood stuff, and like dive into a lot of like the more, I guess, grittier stuff of Batman.
And I think that I kind of saw like when they were first initially doing that and they showed the suit, and as soon as you see the ha ha ha, you're like, okay, that's Joker. Like we know what's happening. That's going to be Jason Todd. So we're probably going to get a Red Hood movie at some point. But then they screwed Joker up with Suicide Squad and whatever they did there. So they couldn't do that. So like I would love to see introductions. Like if the Batman takes off and becomes a hit, kind of bookend it. Like go back and forth. You can make now both these movies, and like this is what he's doing in year 3. This is what he's doing in an old age. Yeah. And then you get the Batman Beyond. Like,
it would. Yeah, and it would work. Because I feel like they're so nervous to try the route of Robins and Red Hood ever since, the movies back in the day. Because there's been so many different Batman movies in all over different timelines, and none of them have gone back to this route of, I mean, Christopher Nolan teased it. They teased like kind of the whole, he's going to be a Robin, Nightwing character. And then obviously the franchise went kaput, and that was never expanded upon. But I would like to see one of those iterations, whether it's Ben Affleck or Robert Pattinson, like take a shot with the Robins, because that opens up so many different things. Like DC now is doing a comic with just the Robins, so it's Nightwing, Damian Drake, and Red Hood all teaming up for like an 8-issue miniseries. And I'd like to see that brought to like an actual screen.
Yeah, and tell me it wouldn't be awesome to see a Robert Pattinson in the second movie. He's a vicious version of Batman. We see that. He is vengeance. It's a warning. He's gonna he's destroying these criminals. Yeah. And then like it takes taking in Dick Grayson to realize and seeing how angry he is and how vicious he is, him being like, I gotta tone it back a little, like
right, yeah.
I would love that to be the proponent that stops him from being so vicious.
Yeah, that would be good. That would fit for sure.
And then we have Dick Grayson as Robin. You can now introduce him with Ben Affleck as just somebody who's now Nightwing doing his thing. And in Ben Affleck's, go back and tell a story of Jason Todd, and then maybe get Red Hood in there.
Yeah, exactly. If they took the story of like Under the Red Hood and made it into like part of a movie, like obviously not centered around just the movie, but made that like a focal point of like Robert Pattinson's like first real mistake, like as Batman. Like you just kind of fast forward a couple years, Nightwing's off on his own. They kind of take that route. I mean, it's a super dark storyline, but if done well, I feel like it could be like a game changer for DC for their movies, of showing that like, look, we can do realistic realism versus like, hey, both of our moms are named Martha, let's be best friends. Yeah. Like
absolutely. And I think that would end Batman fatigue in the movies. Yeah. Because now it's not gotta wait for Robin Pattinson. Because a lot of people I think like, if I don't love this Batman, I gotta wait until this plays out and then they put a new Batman in. So if you don't love Ben Affleck's Batman, you get Robert Pattinson. You'll probably like that. If you don't like either of them, you're gonna like Michael Keaton with Batman Beyond, and maybe
exactly, yeah.
So you have 3 different Batmen going on, doing their thing, and if for the fans, we're probably going to see all 3 iterations of it.
Oh yeah, easily.
But at least you're going to get a lot of the masses going out to all of them, just divide it up to who they like.
Yeah, exactly. It's like pick kind of a timeline that you want to focus on.
Yeah, and you know what? With that, I think that we solved DC's problems, and DC should pay us.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, and they probably should pay me royalties for stealing my cosplay.
There it is, right there. DC, you heard it here first. Stop playing over on the Fandome and get over here and pick up Mark. Exactly. We need the Fandom Effect out there. Just bring me with you on some things.
I got you.
I do want to thank you for being on the show tonight, man. I had a great time talking about this.
Oh, for sure.
Do some more in the future.
Oh yeah.
And I want to thank Jason. Unfortunately, he got blinked out, but we do love you having on your show, buddy. And thank you for being on tonight. This has been a DC Fandome review. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Contact us. Check out the Fandom Effect. Check out 3 Geeks. They're going to be talking about more of this stuff too. So until next time, I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. Mark from the Fandom Effect. Thank you again. Thank you again, Jason from 3 Geeks. Go check out all our shows and more, and they're in the descriptions below. So we'll talk to you guys later. I messed up. But we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and you can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, or you can check it out on any podcast platform or our YouTube channel anytime after that. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If you guys want to join, check us out over on thescenesnobs.com. We have links for everything. The Scene Snobs merch store is open. You can check that out too. Links again on the site. Or follow, and subscribe on all of our social media. Again, head over to thescenesnobs.com.